I'm just trying to think back, and I remember the set with numbers. He looked really, really crispy against Nick. Yeah, I mean, Creative looked crispy as well, but I think the numbers is just like had time to rest. You know what I mean? Got a
Yeah,
little break,
he's
got
definitely
some
had
water.
some time to relax. But you know, one of the things. Well, I mean, you could argue that Creative also has some momentum coming after that set. That 3-1 set
That's true.
he got against Wise. But you know, one of the things
Oh
as
my.
well too that's very interesting about both of these players is that I think they definitely. I mean, their sword knowledge is, I think, a little bit better than their chakra knowledge. I mean, we saw numbers throughout that set with Nick. His sword was very crisp and clean. He was able to challenge Nick over on the sword, and he was over on the sword for a good majority of the time. Same could be said about Creative as well too. Creative was mostly kind of on the sword. He was playing around with the sword, like we're seeing right now. He was over on the sword. So we're gonna be seeing kind of two players that maybe opt to play the sword when it comes in this, Priya Ditto. So we might see a potential. I mean, we saw a little bit of it, the sword Ditto. And Numbers honestly was kind of struggling with it. I'm not sure if you saw that, Logan.
Yeah, I wonder if he switched to this chakram specifically because he didn't feel like he was enjoying the
Comfortable
sword
for
ditto.
Ditto, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Chakram for Creative. Numbers going to be on the sword this time. They swapped.
Yeah.
Definitely a more favorable position for numbers. Much rather have the sword looking for a KO option here rather than chakram. Especially on the split version. Recovery though, ooh, still not going to KO. Miami
go up to
Dome.
the heavens.
Not necessarily a high ceiling, but chakram weak force. The recovery not going to KO. Creative. One more would do it though, surely. Oh, both players de-sigging. Hard read. Oh wow, that down air was super far to the right. I couldn't believe it. Or he was far to the left. But recovery surely. Yep. KO. Creative up 3 stocks to 2. It's a super damaged first stock though. Opting for the sword. Good choice, honestly.
Yeah.
Looking more comfortable on it.
Ooh, big GC down saying Numbers is able to go ahead and take that stock, and just like that is even as can be. These sets have been just so even. Coming from Numbers and Nick, that one was such an even set. Weiss and Creative was just a nail biter of even. I mean, Weiss tried his best to kind of position his best around Creative, but just wasn't able to do so. This set as well too, I'm sensing it's the same thing because you're seeing here. Oh my god, it's just back to back. It's just so even amongst both of these players, to be honest.
Oh man, that's kind of an awkward sig to punish. It's so active for so long. I feel like the correct way to punish it is probably just insig back.
Oh yeah, the insig on chakrams.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on kind of it definitely depends because like it moves your hitbox, it moves your character, of course. Like you see there, it hits you at that angle, but I feel like if you whiff it, especially off stage, it's huge. Like you can get a huge punish on that. Especially like if you're trying to like. Did he not touch?
If he was triple exclamation points. If he had sidelight D-light him, he was dead. But he chose to sidelight nair him instead of to the side, so he like accidentally touched the stage beforehand. But it was such a close decision to make. Side air, not quite. Is close though. Another one would do it.
Oh, big NC.
Oh my god. Okay, he was KO'd and then he got GC insig, so he got saved. And then actually got the second stock before numbers. Alright, this has been a wild game. Back and forth. D-lights there. Creative. Yeah, that's both of the Priya insigs are kind of awkward to punish. They stay active for a deceptive amount of time. And especially on the Priya mirror match, it feels like they're hard to punish with light attacks. Like the best way to punish them is with like an insig of your own.
I think with that insig, like especially I see it used a lot to come back to stage. And especially to kind of catch people off guard that are like kind of peeking right by the ledge of the stage. It sometimes hits some of the like opponents. It sometimes hits them at that angle. But you can definitely punish the NC if you have sword with a D-light Sayer, if you have recovery perhaps. Probably.
Ooh, dare Sayer.
But right now, getting back to the action.
Surely curtains.
Numbers is, really damaged. He's really damaged, and man, Creative, he's just putting the chakrams to work. GC down sig, that was ambitious, but double recovery gonna be coming in from Creative with an end sig of his own. Gonna be taking that stock. 1-0 right now in this set against Creative. Wow, Creative just putting up. Man, Creative, what a first game to open out.
Wow. That Chakram Insig is money. That is definitely my favorite sig on Priya. That, I mean,
100%.
in terms of enjoyment, Sword D-Sig is enjoyable, but I mean, watching these players hit Insig is just like, oh, it just satisfies such a part of me to watch that Snig snipe you up and then reverse them, and you just dodge up, touch the wall. Oh my goodness. How are you feeling after this game 1 hockey going into game 2?
You know, I'm looking forward to seeing the adaptation is going to be made from Numbers. It's right now 1-0 in favor of Creative. I'm hoping that you know, Numbers can wake up a little bit. Maybe we see something kind of similar to what we saw in the set where he fought against Nick, perhaps. And you know, perhaps we see some sort of fire light inside of Numbers, and he can be able to bring this one back. But it all depends on what happens in this game here. Game number 2, Numbers is going to be starting off over on the Chakrams, whilst Creative is going to be over on the Sword. Numbers actually on the Fuse version, looking to get kind of a couple hits into there. He's trying to kind of, you know, space him out a little bit. And honestly, just the Fuse version, I think is a great weapon to kind of just create some space between your opponents, because it goes for those long areas, like the side light, for example, sends them so much away. Even the Seer as well too. It's a pretty good option that you can go ahead and use to just kind of send your opponents a little bit further away. Definitely better than if you're going with the Fuse version, not the Fuse version, the Split version, sorry, where it brings them more closer to you. So Numbers was just kind of probably looking to create some space between him and Creative, trying to get some early damage, but the lead right now is in favor of Creative as he's racking up damage over on these Chakrams. You see Numbers actually, he switched the Chakrams out.
Oh, what a dodge, Numbers. Oh, D-like ground pound. Absolutely stunning punish. Numbers, that was good. You were up, you were awake, you got through that side air, I believe. You dodged it frame 1 perfectly. D-like ground pound. Actually, an excellent adaptation going to game 2. The Steven Island was all he needed. He's on Sword. Gets away from side air. Gets away from recovery. Numbers. Nice. Alright, we're not worried about that. Feeling good. 2 stocks apiece. I think that no platforms is definitely the adaptation Numbers needed.
Yeah, it's
the short walls.
It's gonna control the game a little bit more, and it's definitely gonna try. I mean, I was gonna say it's gonna avoid some of the long strings, but we just saw Creative.
Let this man land.
We just saw Creative just kind of just rip it out of the fly. Yeah, so I don't think there's no stopping those long strings. I can't lie. Those long kind of what you call it, vertical strings. I don't think it's gonna stop at all. Creative is just gonna let that go, man. He's just gonna let it fly, man. And oh my goodness, Creative right now, such an amazing damage. And once again, you're seeing that he's opting to swap out the Chakrams. He wants to stick on the Sword, but he's currently disarmed, and Creative is controlling the stage. Exhausted recovery is gonna lead to the KO. This is not looking like a great number 2 for Numbers Inc. right now. Especially if you're on Elimination side, it's not looking great.
Creative is going crazy. He's channeling everything in the air, and he's just, it feels like he's just winning everything. Like he's just getting away with some of the most wild Nair's recoveries, down airs, like just like letting them go. Down air again, throws him up, and like does get punished. Like that Nair is so wild that he hits it from that distance.
Ooh, what a GC side stick to punish that NC. That's so huge. But Numbers, though, he needs more than that. He needs to try to get this stock immediately. Now going for the 2-piece combo. Doesn't lead to the KO. Weapon throws up. Now picks up back the weapon. Has the Fuse version, but a nice side stick. Well placed indeed. Now the stocks are tied up, but this damage lead is in favor of Creative right now. And once again, if you're Numbers Inc., which this could definitely put you on match point. You do not want to be put on match point. You want to go 1-to-1 at least, perhaps. But a big Creative. The Seer sends him so far away. Does Numbers make it back?
He's in trouble. That's it.
I think that's it. Yep.
That's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. Like both Priya insigs are active for so long. Like he saw the insig come out, and he couldn't help himself from jumping because he wanted to jump and go for a punish, but it's like he couldn't get past his own muscle memory there for a second. So like he waited for that split second for like an insig would normally be done, and it just like stays there for just a little bit longer. It feels like longer than it feels like it should, if that makes sense. And it caught him and sent him off to the left. To me, that sig feels like well, not the Sword one, but the Chakra one feels like a Barraza insig type, but like a little bit longer. Both those sigs have like a Like, I don't know how to describe them. Like, they're, you know what I mean.
I understand. It sends at that kind of angle as well too. Like it grabs you and sends you at that angle. So I definitely get what you mean.
They're just kind of awkward to challenge when you're coming in that space. Ooh. So I believe this is game number 3.
Yeah,
2-0.
match point as well too for Numbers Inc. So if Numbers loses this one, that's gonna be it. He's gonna be out. And right now, Creative is just going crazy. Oh, the turnaround!
Oh, come on!
Oh man, Numbers, you could have definitely got that one out. That would have been such an early lead for you. But he fumbles it. Now he's over on the sword.
I couldn't believe it didn't KO. I think he hit the nair, like he hit the down air for sure, and I'm pretty sure the nair connected. I just didn't KO.
I'm pretty sure the option there is instead of nair to go for the recovery, because
you think?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Even if it's unexhausted, it's gonna send way more up than the nair, because the nair is just like, it doesn't send you that far up. It's just like, I don't know, it just raises you a little bit. It doesn't send you that far up. The recovery on the other hand, that would definitely be TKO. So definitely, Numbers. You gotta check your notes, bro, because I'm pretty sure when Nick is up there in the air, bro, he don't be KOing with dare into nair, bro. He be KOing with dare into recovery. But anyways, getting back into
crew
game
battle notes.
Nice recovery. It's gonna lead to the KO. Looks like he heard that recovery is for the KOs, and he's gonna be now going back to the chakram. So this is very interesting. I mean, throughout this set, we've been seeing him opt for the sword. He even shuffled out the chakrams. But now we're seeing here in this game number 3 where things are dire. Where you're on match point, you're going to have to start to mix things up. And he's going to try to mix it up and, you know, play some chakrams a little bit. You know, you got to try out the new weapon. It's a new legend, a new weapon coming out with the new legend as well, too.
Yeah, what should Numbers have gone for there? Creative had no dodge. He hit, Numbers hit GC side light. And then he went for recover and he didn't miss. What would have been optimal there? Let us know.
A, B, and C, and D.
No, yeah, Creative had no dodge. Choice. You could have gone for like confirmed. You didn't need to go for.
Give them some multiple choice, bro. For real.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, bro.
Should he have gone options for? Side air. Recovery. D-Sig. Alright, 2 stocks apiece though. After you answer that, lock into this next stock. Oh, great down air. Creative has been really, really good at challenging people that are going to try to get, like, okay, so people that are trying to get back to stage, they swing a little bit farther to like the side of the stage, out horizontally, and he's been jumping over them and down airing. But he's not like down airing right on the wall. He's like getting like a full body width to like the side, and then he's down airing. He got to catch people going wide. His timing's really immaculate on catching people trying to get distance to go high.
We saw a nice ambitious downside after that tower there, but wasn't able to catch. Numbers is in a very, I mean, he's in barbecue sauce health right now. GC downside, the Sarah is going to hit him so far away. Nice recovery, able to catch. The recovery from Steve, able to get the KO. Now Creative now has options of weapon, going to be sticking with the sword to rack up some damage. Just
oh, money, baby.
That's going to be it, man. Straight on the money indeed. Going to be leading to the KO. Now has the options of weapon, going to be sticking with the sword. And, I mean, we've seen, I mean, time after time, I said this at the start. Oh, okay, he's just starving him now. I mean, Numbers has been preferring this sword, so it seems like kind of the game plan, I mean, it's set in stone, man. Numbers, I mean, he wants to stick on the sword. He doesn't want to play the chakrams. He just wants to go on that weapon that, you know, he's comfortable.
Come on, Numbers. I want to cast more Brawl. I want you to win this one, Numbers. My bias is showing. I want to cast more Brawl today. Keep that sword coming. Good. Oh, I thought he was going to punish that recovery. I was already preemptively. Good nair. Okay. You got him on the back burner, Numbers. I want to see this set go to a game 5.
Nice to be
That's all right. Don't panic and try to dodge in. He's going to wait. Ambitious ground pound. Ambitious side stick. Just chill out for a second. Get back to stage. Okay. Chill out, Numbers. Making me nervous.
Ooh, big NC. I think the last part of that hit was the
just get rooted, Numbers. Oh,
that's gonna be it.
That's gonna be a 3-0.
Wow, a 3-0. Was that another 3-0? No, that was. Oh yeah. Well, actually another 3-0 for Creative, but yeah, a 3-0 coming in from Creative. Amazing stuff coming in from him, man. I mean, let's have a look at these stats, shall we? Oh my goodness.
I jinxed him. I put too much pressure on him, Hockey.
I think so. I can't lie. You maybe put just a little bit too much pressure. But yeah, you've seen Creative. I mean, definitely more damage over on the chakrams. He definitely favored chakrams a little bit more. But his second stock was definitely kind of the star of his, you know, I guess his that last game there where he survived for 112 seconds, I believe.